Hi friends, this is Vema Reddy. This is a continuation video of the previous video where I have given a demo on the Slack integration, how we can set up the connectivity from the Slack to Boomi. Once you send any message from the Slack channel or anything, it will trigger a Boomi process, and whatever the Boomi process is going to copy that content that is going to return as a message reply here. Okay, so this is in case if you have not watched the previous video, first part of this video, I'll be giving a link, the description of this video, so that you can just take a look at how the slash command, what does mean the slash command, how to configure this slash command with Boomi process web service over connector URL to trigger. Okay, so this is more like from Boomi perspective, setup and Boomi perspective, the logic what I build to send this message after we receive the request. Okay, as we know, like if you set up in the Boomi endpoint URL, that's what called when you send a message with some slash command over here, right? It will trigger a Boomi process with after the boom command space, whatever you put the message, it will send as a messages. Okay, so now I already triggered a message, but I'll just quickly walk you through how it receives a request. Okay, you just go here and just click on here, click on new document. You can see as soon as I send a message earlier, I already received a message from Boomi. Okay, I'm just going to copy paste here. Better readability, what I can do, this is kind of a name and value pair. Name and value pair both are separated by ampersand symbol. So I'm just going to replace all. You can see this is what basically you're going to receive the request from the Boomi, from the Slack. When you trigger a Slack command, this is going to be triggered. Okay, you can see this is the name value pair, all these things. Let's see how we are able to read this information from Boomi, right? So in order to receive a request from Boomi, what we did is we created a Boomi process. Okay. Let's navigate to build tab and let's see how we built this one. First, let's see, as you know, guys, we have to create a web service server connector process to make Boomi process as a web services processor. So for that, what I did, I created a new process with connector as web service server connector and action is listen. And then I created an execute option here saying that I just created an object called slash command so that it generates an URL like this, where ws simple execute slash command. So this is your request URI and the shade web server and item management page, you'll get the base URL. So this entire becomes your endpoint URL to trigger this particular process. Now I just expecting any input data here is single data because it can receive any kind of text data or it can any kind of XML or JSON specific any format it receives. I don't want to send any response. Okay. So this is what it receives. As soon as I receive response request, Boomi receives a request from the Slack. I already showed you this is kind of a post body. It receives name value pair with ampersand separated. So what I did for better readability, what I did, I replaced same thing what I did in Notepad ampersand with new line character here. So that becomes multiple rows of data. So each row, what I did, I created one generic profile. I'm considering this as a flat file. This is a name. This is a value. This is a kind of so that it generates a name value pair. This is kind of simple flat file. Simple flat file with two columns. One column will be here, and other column will be here. Each column will be delimited by type symbol. So what I did, I just created a process here. In this map, I created a flat file. You can see delimited other character I kept it as a type is equal to I created a name and I created a value. so that I'm able to read each line. I'm able to read each line, and then I created an XML profile here. This XML profile, I make it as name values, name value as repeatable. It's max occurrence. You can see this is max occurrence. I created a name, I created a value. So why I created this one is I want to take out this part. So in order to take out this part, what I did is I map this one. I considered whatever the payload I received that as name value pair, and then map it. I generated it here, and then I split here, and then I send a request to stored in a cache. How I stored in a cache is I created an index based on the name. So it means every name I'll based on this name, I'm going to store it. Then I'm going to retrieve based on this value here. You can see I'm going to retrieve from a cache with this static value as response URL. So what this response URL basically do is this going to retrieve, this is a value, this is a name, and this is a value. It's going to retrieve it. So this I need to do a URL encoding, and then I need to take out this part. If you quickly look at this, right, just go to here, just go to here, URL decoder online. Okay, you can see this is how the URL is getting zipped, but it is encoded. So that we need to do decoding this part, and then I need to extract this part because this will be always common static value, because this is the value from the Slack is by default as per Slack document. It need to respond within 33 seconds. If you don't respond within 3 seconds, it will Slack will show you a timeout message. So there is a one more option. If you want to send your message after 3 seconds, what you can do, you can take out this URL and it will generate one kind of this, but this will be valid for next 30 minutes. So that you can send out a message to this URL, a post message, so that will be visible on your Slack channel. So that's what I'm going to do it here with the Boomi. So what I did, I get that URL, and then in this, what I did, I extracted the value. And then after extracting the value, I created one more profile called single element because I just want to take out this part. After the command, whatever I want to take out that. So for that, what I did, I written a small script. What this script is basically do here is it decodes this one. The decodes is more or less like this. It translates this value into this value here. Okay. After this value translated here, what I did, I take the 8 characters. From 8 characters, I'm taking entire string. It means here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then this will be H will be 8 characters. From this value will be, from this is the value will be, from the hooks onwards, this is the value will be returned as part of this command. So the URI will have from hooks onwards. From there, I split it based on the new line with the slash, I split it with 2. So basically, what does it mean that this will be your first, with this hook dot slash will be the first message, and remaining all will be your next message. This all will be second message, because I mentioned to split only 2 tokens. This will be the first token here. The second token will be this one. So this second token, I grabbed it, and then with this URL, because in Java, the indexes start from 0 and 1. First index will be the host and second index will be URL, that I captured it and defined it out the parameters. This I'm going to map it to single element, and this element, what I did, I want to send a message to the HTTP post method. I defined when Slack here, books.slack.com. There is no need to authenticate anything because it's just short-lived for next 30 minutes. So I created an operation here with post method. I want to send a JSON message here, and then you can use HTTP response. You can return the HTTP response. and you define the URI dynamically. You can pass it. So I enabled this as, because this becomes no longer URI, this becomes a dynamic document property that populates the value of URI. So that I'm going to set it here. And this I'm going to set it whatever the map function is, taking out this value. So with this, I'm going to send out a post message. Where is the post message I'm sending? Here is the one. So you can going to send a message in terms of block. This is Slack's format. Because this I'm going to send two blocks. One block will be this, other block will be this. One block I marked as star. It means it marks as this marks as here in bold. Other it marks as this one because it automatically gives this one text, another section. You can see I'm going to send as two texts with block of message. So this we can call it as a block of message. This block has two sections, one section, another section. Other section is a static value. I'm going to send it here. And the second section, I'm going to send it with processed with execution. The execution ID, I'm sending it. So this is where I'm going to send my execution ID of the process. So then this payload will be sent as a JSON message because I selected content type as JS and HTTP method as a post, and the URI will be taken it from the Slack payload, Slack's payloads one. So this will be going to send, and this will be going to send a message. This will be replied here as Slack message here. Now let's see how it triggered. If you want, you can even run a message here. Okay. You can just send it here. Trigger Boomi Process. So you can see not able to see it here. It will just pop up. Okay. You see, Boomi received request at 136. You can see this is a request. It is again triggered. So now let's see how this thing has been executed. Copy and then go. You can just click on here. You can see what message received. Whatever the message I sent, it will be received over here. Because I send a message, trigger Boomi process, and this will give me one more because it's sending a response. That is sending a response over here, it will be here. Because this will only show you the response. Response is written as okay. And this is what you can say the URL will be. This URL will be valid for next 30 minutes. Okay, now if you want to execute this in and also run this in test mode. Run document in test mode. Okay. So this will be same data will be passed and again we'll run in test mode. You can see the execution, how it is doing each step level. You can see you received a request over here is complete ampersand separated values, and then when because of fetch and replace, it becomes a separate row. Within everything is a new line character, and then this I mapped it to an XML values, name value pair. You can also use JSON, and you can see everything is taken as a name value pair here. Whatever information you want to access, text information, maybe if your Slack sends some information as input to your Slack, maybe file name or something, or batch ID something you want to trigger. You can also, if you can, maybe you want to send a file name, you send in the command as a fully qualified file name and then read that value from here and then read that file and then proceed. So here I can say split it, and then once I receive, I just pulling it here as only the response URL from here. In this response URL, I further use the scripting and then further translated and extracted the value part what I required. You can see I extracted the part what I required. This I sent it as dynamic document property here, and then I put it as payload here. The payload will be generated here. Okay, because this you need to see the payload, you need to click on here. You can see you're sending a block of message, two blocks, one will be here, other one will be here. You can also send many values. You have a lot of rich set of text message. You can send it from to the Slack API that you can see more details. You can see this is the app we are receiving, and this is what we are going to receive the success response. Since we resend this message, you'll be able to see a different notification, different message also you'll be able to see here. Okay, this is what I had selected earlier. You can see one more message, because even you run it in test mode again, still will be new message will be triggered. So this is the one, and there is also one more app I created. This is a legacy app. Without using the legacy app, you can also create within your Boomi app itself. You can also execute a Slack command. You can just go here, and then you can just go here, app. If you go here, maybe you can select any of the app that you want to receive. Under app, instead of using a Slack command, you can go to the Slack commands here. Okay, in this your app, you can see I given a different app, Boomi app here. I earlier one is you can add all many under one app. You can add anything here. You can create many commands, similar like same process you are like given here, so that you can be. But if you just go and trigger this again with Boomi app, okay. Okay, and just trigger it here again, you'll get the same behavior. So the recommended approach is to use this app. You create your own app, and then inside that app you create Slack commands. But if you want to enable to it, because this app I created to create WATH 2 setups, so that WATH we can do all the WATH setup here. Okay, that we will see required in another video. How you can integrate, you can create WATH 2 setup credentials to connect Boomi to create Boomi apps. If you want to trigger with using the Boomi, you want to authenticate to Slack using WATH 2, you will be able to enable the WATH settings here. You create an app and you create WATH settings, and then you'll get client ID, client secret, and then you'll be able to publish a message also. So this is the creating an app, and then using the slash command is the newest approach. The one you used, the slash command, because slash command itself is a custom integration. That custom integration is a deprecated app. So both the ways we created commands and showed how to trigger Boomi from the Slack communication, Slack channels or Slack messages. Okay, so this is what I'm going to sort of showing it here. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions, please post me on the YouTube channel in the comments. Thank you.